et comportements humains dans les organisations. Voilà le sujet qui passionne Vasilica, qui est aussi docteur dans ce même domaine qu'elle enseigne à l'université. Aujourd'hui, elle va nous parler des éléments qui influencent les relations en entreprise. Elle va nous parler de respect et elle va nous parler aussi de notre propre regard, puisque c'est notre propre regard qui va automatiquement influencer le comportement et la communication des personnes en face de nous et notamment des collaborateurs. On y va. Hello Vasilica, how are you?
Hello, Antonella. I'm fine. Thank you. And you? How are you?
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Happy to be with you today. Could you tell us who you are, what you do, and most of all, why you do it?
Okay. My name is Vasilica Margalina. I come from Romania. I lived 10 years in Spain, and now I'm living in Ecuador. I have a startup I started last year, a business, which is dedicated to help researchers with the methodology of their project and also teach them some specialized knowledge, usually statistics. Mm-hmm. And I'm also a PhD in business organization. And I worked for 3 years here in Ecuador at a university where I coordinated research projects, and also I was a professor.
Okay, thank you. And why is it important for you to work in this area?
Well, there are a lot of experience from my childhood. The accumulation of experience. So I remember that when I was a child, my parents, which were workers and working in a manufacturing plant, come to home and tell me, you have to study, because if you don't study, you will have look out at our hands, you know, and you have to study and have a better job. And at that age, I was thinking, oh, I will study. I want to have a good job and to have money, and that my parents don't have to work and can have nice and healthy hands. And this was my mission then, there to study.
You studied a lot companies and relationships in organizations. Could you tell us what do you think today is wrong with relationships in traditional companies or organizations?
So when I studied my PhD, I discovered this theory, relational coordination, developed by Jody Hoffer Gittel, which is a lecturer at Brandeis University in Boston, United States. Mm-hmm. And this theory is based on 2 types of dimensions. One is communication, and the other one is relationships. So in communication, there are 4 dimensions. First is the frequency of communication, which says that when the frequency of communication increases, it also increases not only the amount of shared information, but also the familiarity between persons. Uh-huh. The second dimension is timely communication. So the communication must be not only frequent, but also must be there when it is needed, when it's really needed, because if not, errors occur or delays in organizations. There is also another dimension, which is accurate communication. When the communication is not accurate, also errors can occur, and people can lose time in searching the new information or the right information that they need to do their job. Mm-hmm. And the last dimension, which is problem-solving communication, where people must focus on communication to solve problems. Because usually when problems occur, people have the tendency to blame others. But no, instead of searching for solutions. And in relationships, there are 3 dimensions. The first is shared goals. People at organizations must have common goals. And then is shared knowledge. Shared knowledge meaning that that people must know the work that their workmates are doing. And knowing the work of others, they know the information that they must give them to do better their job, the information that they need from others to do better the job. So these dimensions really improves the work relationships. And the other one is mutual respect. So Gittel, who applies a lot this theory to the healthcare system in the United States, discovered that differences between status, there were differences between status between doctors and nurses. And these differences in status resulted in the lack of mutual respect, which also affected the work relationships and the results that they had with their patients. So this is relational coordination, a theory that I worked with here in Ecuador in 2 projects. One, it was with business organizations, and the other one with footwear manufacturing companies. And what I discovered here in Ecuador is that usually the organizations are focused in control and punishment, and they are not working the relationships. This is what was my general conclusion, and it is very widespread. This way of working and managing people at companies. They usually don't have the objectives, the goals so good defined as big organizations. So we even worked with a company, and we'll help them to define better their goals, because a manufacturing firm, an example, had as a goal to manufacturing shoes. And I thought, but this cannot be a goal, because this is your mission. You do that. It's not a goal, not a strategic goal. They have that in their documents, in their plan, in their strategic plan, and it was not. And we try to help them to have a better strategic goals.
And what would you say, how could you help people in organizations to better communicate together and find and focus on solutions and not on problems?
You can help them by bring them together and speak about their problems and how they can solve it. Because they don't find the time to get together and really speak about their problems. So it's what we did with the company. We did a workshop, so we bring them together and we explain them all about this theory, and they start to speak and to really they speak, because they really set their goals by themselves and what they can do to improve their communication, because each organization have their own problems. And each organization is a different world. So they
absolutely
find it by themselves. You cannot bring them the solution.
That's so right what you're saying. Yeah. You cannot come with solutions. You can have some ideas, but the solutions have to come from them. Yeah, I do
exactly. Agree. And when they come from them, there is a higher probability to apply them, because it's come from them. If you go and to say you must do that, they can reject your idea, because who you are, you don't know what we are doing. Why you tell us what to do?
Exactly. And when you come like that, you're also applying command and control. So
exactly.
Yeah. Something to share from your teaching profession also?
Yes. Well, I really enjoy my teaching experience, and the relationship with students. Every time it fills you with a lot of positive energy. And one time I had a group with here. There is 2 periods of exams. You have to give them 2 exams in one semester. And after the first period, the results were the first period. The results of the exam was so bad. I think there were 3 students that could pass the subject, what I was teaching them, and my first reaction was to blame them. But after that, I said, no, let's see, I have to change my attitude and take it as a challenge, and I really tried to prepare better my classes and the way I worked with them. But not only this, I have with one student a very interesting experience, because during that, in the same group, during one class, well, I have a very bad writing. So sometimes I ask for help from students to help me to write on the blackboard. And once I said, please, someone to help me not torture you with my bad writing, and with the exception of George, I said, okay, because he also had a bad writing. And he told me, teacher, you are bullying me. I said, no, don't you know that there is a study that says that people with a bad writing, they are intelligent persons. So I know that you can get a good grade on the exam, I told him. My surprise was that when I had the results of the second exam, he get the highest note of the group.
Wow.
Yes. So after some months, I read a book about the subliminal messages. And the book mentioned a study that said that the perception of teachers about their students affected their results. Mm-hmm. And then I remember this experience with this student, and I said, I don't know how much of the fact that I tell him that he can do it, yes, really influenced him to have this result on the exam.
Yeah, of course. That's so interesting what you're saying, because I think you're right. And there are some studies that show that the way your teacher looks at you, what he thinks about you, will influence what you are, how you are performing actually. And it's the same thing, yes, in a company. The way how your manager looks at you and what he says to you, this will influence you. The same thing when a parent speaks to his child. It's the same thing.
Yes, and there is this fact that not only the results of my students really improved in the second period, but also I get one of the best evaluations from students, because I always had I see my workmates, the other professor, was scared about the evaluation of students. Oh, if you give them bad grades, they will give you a bad evaluation. And it was not. It didn't happen in this case with this group, because I really had a good evaluation.
Do you think?
And maybe.
Do you think it's because you had a real relationship with them? Actually, that's what changed, and you were honest, and you told them what you were thinking.
Yes, and maybe they felt that I care.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And that you trusted them also.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there is a statement of Goethe who says that treat a man as it is, and he will remain what it is. Treat a man as how it can be, and it should be, and it will be what it can and should be. And I think there is something true in this statement, and it's true for people, and also true about organization. Of course, I think that there must be an evaluation and monetization system, but not control and punishment. Because what is control? If we go to the meaning of the definition of this word, it means a person, a group of persons who has the power to make decisions, or it means the ability to make persons to do what you want them to do. So it really is about this organization, or is about working for common goals.
Yeah, completely agree.
What will be? They should try to focus on relationships, because this is very important. the way they communicate, they can really improve the results of their companies and really reduce errors, delays, and also they can have more satisfied employees and more happy.
Yeah. Thank you.
But also,
Thank
I also think that all the countries should work on their education systems and to change them, because I think there is also how companies are working with their employees is somehow also a result of the education system.
Of course, yeah. Would you like to share something more? Your last words?
Well, I want to thank you, Antonella, for giving me this opportunity to share my experience and my thoughts about organization and relationships within organizations. And what I want to conclude that this work and relationships is not only about organizations. It's also a personal journey. Each of us must work each day in improve our communication and relationship with others, our personal relations, our work relationships, and when we do that, our life improves. And I know it by my own experience. Now, I always been a shy person with problems with to interconnect and to connect with other people, and maybe this is why I also study communication and relationship. But working on improving my communication and relationship really helped me to improve my life.
Yeah, I understand. It's the same for me. I think it all starts with a personal journey. Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Vasilica. Thank you. Si cette vidéo vous a inspiré, si vous pensez que le monde a besoin d'entendre ce message, alors partagez-le. Parlez-en et abonnez-vous si le cœur vous en dit. Merci